What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
What's good tonight? Right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink. Look a damn mess. Just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. What up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What's up? It's me. Y'all know who I am. I'm L Teddy 27, and I'm back. We're here for another review. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be our review for The Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 5. It is episode 14. It is entitled Hats Off, Shades On. Now, a lot to unpack in this episode. Not going to be long, but we do have some things to unpack. So let's get right down to it. We start off, they have this little montage of the girls busying themselves. I think we saw Monique handing out flyers and just the ladies busying themselves and stuff, doing their business, being about the business of life. So then we get to Candace. She's with her friend Cliff, doing vocal exercises. She's using music to help her get through everything going on. It's therapeutic for her. I hate to be this guy. Hold on, let me get me something to drink. Oh, boy. All right, we're just going to drink Gatorade because the Gatorade might help us keep this not as spiced up as it should be. Okay. Every Cliff I've ever met in my whole life has been gay. Sorry. And I'm going to just leave that there and let that lie there because I could, whatever. Anyway, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I'm a whole gay man over here. But, I saw some people in some other reviews questioning whether or not he was or was not. I don't really think it matters. He's her friend. Well, I'm gonna eat some of y'all in a little bit when I get off this. When I get off this review, I'm gonna eat y'all. Y'all look good. Anyway, I get so sidetracked so easily. Anyway, but I saw some people questioning whether or not he was or was not, and I was in my mind like, what do you need for him to wear a sign? But anyway, not trying to pick at him or anything like that. It is what it is. That is whatever. Anyway, he's a good friend. He's helping her because I saw he tried to do the little, oh, you looking real nice. You sound nice. You look nice. Whatever he was saying. Girl. Anyway, moving on. Robin and Giselle, they go to this little spot to eat scones and biscuits and, little pastries and stuff like that. They invite Karen. So they're going to talk to Karen about what they heard Wendy said that Karen said about Ray, about Karen paying half a Ray's IRS bill and how she want her money back, this, that, and the third. Giselle always seems to come from a place of mess and fuckery. Like she is filled with mess and fuckery. And you would think someone whose entire marriage was filled with mess and fuckery, that she would want to stay away from it. But misery loves company. And she's a miserable person. And she wants to make everyone else miserable with her. She's a mess. Just a whole mess. So she comes to... And it would be one thing if the way she communicated it or the way she carried the bone was not tainted in malice, not tainted with bad intention, not, just... Everything she does just is tainted. It's imbrued. There's the word, imbrued. Everything she does is imbrued with just fuckery. Like she's a miserable old woman. She is old. And then she wants everybody to be miserable with her, which is why she goes through the things she goes through in life, which is why your ex-husband, baby daddy, made up man for this season cheats on you left, right, and sideways. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so Wendy, of course, not Wendy, Karen takes offense to what Wendy said. So Karen starts to, throw jabs at Wendy. And Karen, like most people, when somebody carries the bone to you in that manner, and it sounds like what they said was offensive or they were trying to be messy, then you go ahead. Well, we already here now. Might as well go ahead and, do what we do. So Karen did what she did. She started picking at Wendy and how Wendy came down the stairs and she started picking at Wendy and saying, she's a doctor, but she's not a medical doctor. She's always bragging on her degrees. We'll unpack that in a few minutes. Give me because I need to unpack that a little later. So, but, Karen did what Karen was supposed to do, which was, oh, you going to come at me? I'm coming back at you. So then We see Wendy at home with her kids. You can tell that Wendy was affected when Karen called her ignorant. Um, and highly educated people hate to be called ignorant. They hate to feel unknowledgeable, ignorant on something. They hate to be told that they're unlearned, unknowledgeable, ignorant on a subject matter, on anything. And it really, that's something, because when you are someone who's a student of learning and a life learner, and who's always amassing more knowledge and insight and understanding, increasing your intellect, that notion of ignorance just hits you to the core. You could tell it bothered Wendy. It just kept burning. It just kept burning. And she let it burn. And, I saw her having a great playful mother moment with her sons. Cute little boys, real cute little boys. But that youngest one, that's the one right there. He's going to grab the spotlight. His cameras will be on him later in life. But let me say this to you, Wendy. Let me break this down to you. See, now I can talk to you as a peer. Let me see how you like to throw out degrees. I never throw out degrees, but since we in this arena, Wendy, let's do it. Sweetheart, I have 5 degrees, 6 if you include my specialist degree. Okay, sweetheart? I also have a PhD, okay? I am also, as a Black person with a PhD, a part of the 1% of the less than 1% of the 1% of the American population. Okay? So, as somebody who is a peer, sweetheart, you're not the only one who has gotten a PhD. You're not the only one who's had to deal with a lot going on in life issues while getting a PhD. Most people do, because most people who amass a PhD do it probably later. They're probably not doing it when they're in their early 20s and things like that. Although I did get mine at the age of 27, since you want to call our credentials, sweetheart. But even me being 27 when I got mine, you're usually at a stage in your life where you have a lot more responsibilities, a lot more duties. So because how old you are, or how old most people are, there is a lot going on in their life, and it is sometimes a struggle. That's a part of the whole program. That's a part of the whole process. There's no need to brag about it. You listen. My grandfather always said, "If your work speaks for you, don't interrupt." Let me say that again. If your work speaks for you, then don't interrupt. We don't need you to do that, Wendy. You don't have to go out telling people, "Oh, I got 4 degrees. Oh, I got 4 degrees." Oh, while you should be proud of those 4 degrees, you do not, ma'am, have to continue to browbeat people over the head with your 4 degrees. Okay? Because then what ends up happening is you depreciate your own story, your own achievements. You depreciate the value of those degrees when you're always throwing it in their face. The thing that makes expensive cars, expensive is you don't see them that often. They're not all over the place. You rarely see them, which makes them go up in value. The thing that makes the PhD so lucrative, the doctoral level, terminal degrees as we like to call them, so lucrative, is so few people have them. And those people who do have them, they don't have to go around flaunting it. It becomes very apparent. And then once somebody finds out that you have them, they go, "Oh, well, that makes sense. I could see that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense." And what ends up happening is it increases the value of said degrees. You, ma'am, are depreciating the values of terminal degrees that those of us who have them had. Anyway, I just needed to talk to Wendy for a moment as a peer, because I'm going to talk to Karen in a few moments, too. We'll get there. So then we see Ashley. She goes to her therapist. I ain't care. Whatever. Candace goes to see the music producer, the Chucky Thompson guy, to listen to her remix that he had finished. And, it sounded all right. It was all right. It wasn't bad. It was all right. He offers her a record deal, to sign with his record label. I guess. I mean, people might say bad things, good or bad things about her. But look at some of the garbage out there in the music industry right now. I mean, the R&B genre is dead, so all there is pop and hip hop. So my point is, I saw something. Y'all know I'm always easily distracted. So my point is that you don't have to make her feel too bad about it, because there's some real trash in the music industry. So if they can make it, she can make it. I'm just saying. I mean, it's good enough for yin around the house. All right, so then we see Monique at home doing her mommy duties. Now I'll say I loved seeing Monique like this. Monique as a mom, taking care of the kids, taking care of Big Chris, doing her mother duties. This is the Monique that I like. I like seeing this Monique. She talks about being afraid of going to jail or facing possible jail time and being taken away from her family. And these are the repercussions of actions, unfortunately. But I did like seeing Monique in this light. We then see Ashley goes to Giselle's house, and so they talk about the fact that Ashley's therapist told her that she probably did need to take a vacation and just get away and enjoy travel and different things like that. So she says that she plans on having a trip for all the girls. She was thinking about inviting Monique, but Giselle had to remind her, hey, boo, don't nobody want her around. Don't nobody want to be around her. Ain't nobody comfortable around her no more. You probably don't want to invite her. Now, in my mind, I immediately thought, if your therapist told you that you needed to go on this trip so that you could, relax, ease your mind, help get through some of this postpartum, be stress-free and try to relax, release, why the fuck would you invite these whores? Why in everything that is holy would you invite these whores? Because these are some of the messiest whores on the face of the planet, okay? They would more so stress you out more. I get stressed out watching them, okay? So you want me to take them on vacation? It'll make sense. But I guess if you want to go on vacation for free on Bravo's dime, then I guess you got to take them. But girl, real girls do real things. You always hollering about how your husband is a millionaire. Well, if your husband is a millionaire and y'all got all that money, well, spend some of that damn money and go on your own vacation by yourself and don't take those whores. You should have been going to Giselle and saying, hey, girl, I ain't going to see you for a while. Me, myself, and we going on vacation to get away, to relax, relate, release, so I can get away from the stress of it all. That should have been a conversation. Girl, boom. Anyway, Robin has a photo shoot for her hats. She does this photo shoot for her hats, and she has the girls there to help model her hats, because on her website at that point, there were only pictures of Robin. So she wanted pictures of other other people on her website. So she invited the girls out to this photo shoot. Giselle, mistress of messiness. Before Karen came, Giselle then carries the bone again and tells Wendy what Karen said about her and her not being a medical doctor and her picking at how Wendy walked down the stairs and so forth. First of all, Giselle has been agent zero of fuckery and fucktitude the entirety of this season. Can we say that? The entirety of this season. And from her antics, I don't know, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like probably the entirety of this entire series. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, she makes my nuts itch at this point. She makes my nuts itch. Let me scratch them, because just talking about her just made them itch again. I need to go bathe. I feel the need to bathe now. So, Karen finally comes. Ashley says, comes in and tells the girls that they're all going on this trip to Portugal and so forth. She says Monique is not coming, just so everybody can feel comfortable. And that's that. So after all of that, they, are happy about that. Wendy confronts Karen about what she said. Now, both Wendy and Karen may or may not have been wrong, but it's all in how Giselle communicated it and how Giselle carried the bone to the other person that incited the other person. But let me unpack this Karen thing. One thing that Karen did that people often do that will enrage people with PhDs. There's always this, people try to read people with PhDs or JDs or EDs or, all of the terminal degrees, doctoral equivalents, and PsyDs and, DDs. And they'll say, oh, but it's not a medical doctor. What? Come again? That's not how this works. Arguably, when you get in the circles of people with terminal degrees who hold terminal degrees, there's always the banter between them that talks about MDs and DDs, because they're the only ones who don't have to do dissertations or defend them. they get their degrees based on residencies and practice in the field, but they're the only ones who don't have to be accomplished in the field in terms of research and stuff like that in order to get their degree. Whereas in order to get your degree in any other field of study besides MD and DD, you have to be accomplished and researched and have research in that particular degree. You have to add to the field in order to be considered a terminal degree holder. And so that's why people talk about the fact, there's this, there's the whole joke that, oh, y'all ain't really earned y'all doctorate MDs. But to the public eye, people think that medical doctors are the only real doctors that there are, which is the dumbest thing in the world. It's the dumbest thing in the world. It makes no sense at all. And it's belittling. It enrages people with terminal degrees. It will spark an argument, and that person will not come off it. I'm telling you, I've seen it over and over and over. And I don't think people now, even though Wendy goes out of her way to keep talking about it over and over and over and over and over, I don't think people really appreciate and understand the work that does go into getting these terminal degrees. So when you have people who have spent so much time, effort, and energy doing the work to get these degrees, and then to have somebody ceremoniously just with a quick whip or try with a quick read to debase what you've done, those are almost fighting words. Those are words where you're like, I know the fuck you lying. So I understood Wendy in that point. And then you will find I'm not going to say everybody, but almost anybody who I know with one, when you hit them with, something like that, they get like Wendy, where they're like, nope, not letting it go. Nope, you will respect this. So I kind of understood Wendy at that point. And it has nothing to do with whether or not people with degrees are better than people without degrees. That's not the argument that's not the arena that I'm going into. I just wanted to say that. But Karen did say that all of this is because Giselle is passing bones from person to person to spark messiness because her and Jamal's relationship must not be shit. But you got to have a relationship in order for the relationship to not be shit. She ain't even got no relationship. Baby, you got a pen pal that comes in town every so often to see his kids. That's what you got. And I don't even know if you got a pen pal, because I don't think he's writing you nothing. That pen he got over there, that flesh pen he got over there, he's using to dip into tons of little ink little ink cups and ink bowls all over the greater Atlanta area. Just a damn mess. Anyway, the last part of the episode, we saw Monique filed a countersuit against Candace. So then Candace is all surprised and all, bothered. And I can't believe, Candace, girl, if you don't Candace, hey, boo-boo, hey, dear one, when you decided that you were going to step into the legal octagon, you found yourself into a legal fight. And now that it's a legal fight, the other person is going to do everything they can legally to combat everything that you are trying to do. You in the octagon now, boo-boo. You can't be surprised that you get, roundhouse kicked in the mouth because you thought you had the upper hand. You did a little uppercut and thought you had caught them off guard, and then they reached around and came back with a roundhouse kick. Baby, you're in the octagon. We'll see who comes out of this and wins. But Candace, you look real stupid. I can't believe. Oh, girl, sit your ass down, Candace. You invited this. You took it to the courts. So now the courts. People got to do what they got. People got to lawyer up. What you expect her to just sit there and just let you, legally beat on her? I mean, you kind of see that she likes to fight. She likes to fight chick. You don't pick a fight with likes to fight chick because they will fight, even if that means legally. Anyway, that's all. That was the whole episode, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. This review. I'll be back next week. Y'all know I like the comments, good, bad, and in between. Go ahead and leave a comment. We'll get down in the comment section and argue about what we saw. That's all I got for y'all. Until next week, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.